And we are live. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome on in. My name is Dan C. Bearded. I am the co-host of the Doctor's Orders live stream on the Dr. Nick's YouTube channel. If you guys are catching this in the future, please consider joining us at 1 p.m. Eastern every Tuesday when you can. Or if you watch the replay, I genuinely appreciate a comment. It helps us know that people are watching and enjoying it. And you can add ideas. You can add feedback to what's going on. Get involved in the conversation, even if you're not live. And if you are live, get involved in the chat. And two things. Could you check to see if you remembered the thumbs up on your way in? Sincerely, most of you do anyway, so thank you. And then if anybody wants to share out the stream like Amber did, it is beyond appreciated. We think that this is just a show for anybody. We talk about whatever the heck you guys want. If you have questions about the beard company, if you have questions about beard stuff, if you got just random topics you want to hear two facial hair gentlemen speak about, we are here for you to do that today. Shout out early to Beardo Weirdo, aka Dennis. Welcome, Leo, JB, Keith, Jill. We have Jacob, Dynamite, Nate from Johnny Ray. We have Kev and Amber, Chris. Welcome. And of course, we cannot forget the man with the new vision plan, Mr. Nick Phelps himself. Nick, other than looking sharp as freaking heck, how are you doing?
Dude, doing good. My nose is thanking me for getting a pair of glasses that I can weave in with my super heavy acetate frames. So these are so lightweight. I keep forgetting that I'm wearing them because I'm used to these big, chunky, thick ones that I'm usually wearing.
Yeah.
And these things are like nothing, man. It's crazy the difference. And it's the only pair of glasses I think I've ever worn, even sunglasses that have the little the feet. I usually,
Oh, really?
Because I usually have like the
ones?
frames. Yeah, I've always had acetate or like wood or other types of frames that they weren't the type. I never wore like wire frame glasses. You know what I mean?
I don't think I ever have either.
Yeah. So this is the first pair I've ever worn with feet on them. And it's really, and they're metal feet too. They're not silicone, which is interesting.
Really?
They actually made them out of silver. Oddly, every bit of these things that looks like metal, it's all sterling silver. So it's supposed to be good for your skin and, easy to work with.
Shout out to Shelly.
What's up, Shelly? The bottling machine master. Listen, talk about that machine has a learning curve, and it is definitely written in English. I think that's the politically correct term.
Angry English.
Yeah, no, it is written in it was definitely the second language, or Google Translate at best in these. So Shelly recorded a video. I walked her through, and she's been kind of replaying back the video as she goes. But this thing's only given her hell one time, and it's been now behaving because it realized the error of its ways and not listening to Shelly. So she has that thing under control. It's been awesome. She's been any shower products that have been bottled in the past, I don't know, how long has it been? 3 weeks? Almost a month? It's all been Shelly, start to finish. She's been doing the blending, running the machine, labeling, bottling, capping the whole process. So start to finish, she has been the shower products master.
Shout out to Shelly. That's
amazing. Killing it.
Jill said we've been thinking of rebranding the Dr. Shelly's Amazing Shelly stuff.
yeah, it's funny. We came in one day and just all the verbiage was just starting to it's all just replaced with Shelly now.
That's amazing.
Little over a month. Yeah, so she's been crushing it.
Super cool.
I literally don't think we would have made it through some of these past couple of weeks with the craziness we've had going on without her taking that on and taking on the extra task and putting in the extra hours. So big shout out to Shelly for everyone. That's for sure.
That's fantastic. And then also we have, it's saying again, what's going on at this 1 o'clock?
Yeah, you're having the thing. It's doing the thing.
This is so weird. Like you and I were entirely fine. Everything was going great.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's doing it. Interesting.
Have you pissed off a Comcast guy lately? Like, has there been a Comcast guy that started a beard oil company and then like you denied him doing reviews or something at some point, and now he's just like killing your internet connection?
We do normally have somebody in the stream that works for my internet provider on the service side. So Dan B, I don't know if you're out there.
No, Dan, you need to don't reboot his MPO yet, but you gotta, check that DMARC router.
It's coming back. Thank you, Dan B.
There
It's
we
back.
go.
Yep,
It's back. Thanks, Dan.
And CB says the stream gives me something to look forward to on Tuesdays during work. That is one of the greatest feelings. I actually love Tuesday mindless work when I get to do like website stuff and that kind of things behind the scenes, because I can play Kill Tony because I can't edit and watch Kill Tony. I can't film and watch Kill Tony, but I can do all this type of stuff. And it's like the best feeling to know you have something to look forward to. So to know that we bring that to some people on Tuesdays, dude, that is an absolute honor. Thank you for saying that.
Dude, it is, because that's kind of a big deal, because I'm always pretty picky about what I have on in the background, like when I'm working. So to know that we make that cut is always a good feeling for somebody, for sure. That's killer.
And then Leo last night started using the beard growth stimulator.
Heck yeah.
That's awesome.
I'm going to start using it on my eyebrows. I'm starting to get old. My old man eyebrows are coming in.
Ooh,
I don't have those luscious caterpillars that you have over there. So
dude, mine I take like hedge trimmers every like week, and they get so crazy.
Dude,
so
when you're
crazy.
80, you're going to have like those big, like bushy, like fly away, like wings of eyebrows.
Dude, I've always had ear hair, TMI, but now I've got hair growing, like not just little peach fuzz, but like real growing out the side and top of my ear. Like
right here.
This little flap.
Like right now, like if I get on there, I could probably find one.
Dude, I'll get bunches of like 6, and those things will grow out an inch before I even realize it, and they grow like superhuman strength.
So here's the thing: you shave them, and they stay gone for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and what happens there is you get a false sense of security, and you stop paying attention to them, and then the next time you notice them, boom, quarter inch, just like you say, like those things just like all of a sudden.
Yeah. It's like out of nowhere. And then on the inside of the tragus, that hair's going crazy. And all I think about is, what is this going to be like as I age? It's going to get out of control.
Dude, it's getting crazy. Like I'm finding, they don't really show up on camera much, which is great, but I'm getting more grays like in here, like crazy. And they're getting, but you're right. They're whites. Yep.
Let me see if I can show my underbeard and like sides gets crazy.
Yeah, the underside of your beard's more gray. Yeah, look at that. You got some streaks in there. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Kids.
Yeah.
I blame kids.
That'll 100% do it. Yep. That'll do it.
Children.
I like it though. I like it. All right. And speaking of zoom ins, Nick, show off those glasses real quick, because they got some cool little accents to them. And the black on black hat. Nice.
Oh yeah, and I should have worn my clean one, I guess. Let's see, dude. Yeah, these things are cool. They got these cool little side arms to them here. Let's see, we can kind of get them in frame there. There we go.
Oh yeah.
And so all those little parts, they hand make them out of sterling silver, which is really cool. And then they got like the brand markers there in the top. I think you can see these.
Yep.
You kind of got like some cool accents like on the top of the frames. They just do all kinds of really cool stuff to them. They're all handmade. Chrome Hearts just makes some neat stuff. Like they put little accents just where like you kind of don't expect it. Like on the insides, everything's just finished really nice.
Yeah, those are really sweet. Really sweet.
Yeah, dude, they're super comfortable with like these feet. I didn't expect these metal pads like to be as comfortable as they are. But
yeah. So do you get the wicked indents?
Not so bad. No.
No? Okay, cool.
Actually, these are so light they don't give me any indents at all. Like my other ones, my acetate ones, they don't have the feet, and those do give me the dents. Like I get those pretty bad.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
Whenever I hear the word dents, I always think it's like makes me think of Arthur Dent from Hitchhiker's Guide. You can get the dents. Arthur Dents.
ADHD, kids. And Timothy says, how about nose hairs? Not in the nostril, but the top. Dude, my pores are way too big on my nose, for one, drives me a little crazy. But then, I get these little rhino spikes that are up there, and I'll just take a hair trimmer, and just every once in a while go down there, kind of clean up the unibrow a little bit. But yeah, I've got those. 100%.
Dude, so do you use the twisty thing for the nose hair?
I have that. That's actually kind of, I think, Leo's comment here. He says they grow a quarter inch in an instant. I entirely agree with that. But he's used the Conair Man ear and nose trimmer. Well, tweezers are even more effective. Yeah,
Nope.
they
I gotta
hurt too.
say, I think anything with the battery for nose hairs or ear hair is after discovering what we found. I think it's for the birds.
Oh yeah. What do
Have
you
you
got?
found the manual, the metal twisty one?
Ooh, no.
Okay. This is where I'm going. Okay. So it's a solid piece of machine, anodized aluminum. It's like this big,
Okay.
and it's got two sections and they twist. And yes, that guy. So you put that up and so it's got little razor blades that spin inside that tip. And what I like about it is all you do is you just twist the bottom of it, and those little fins catch every hair, and you can literally put the metal of that straight up against the skin of your nose. And since the inside is the only part that has the blade, there's never a risk of nicking a piece of skin or getting a piece of anything caught in it. And it's ridiculously sharp. Like, it doesn't pull, it doesn't grab anything. You can get like around in the rim of your nose and your ears. Really, I know this is great, right? But you can really get in there. It's and you rinse it out with water, and it stays clean. So they're great.
Interesting. I know the battery one, that's the exact same concept, but that seems like that's way more effective.
So the battery one it's not the same though, because that has a central post in it that has blades on it that spin. This has a jacket that spins inside of a hollow, no central post. So there's no way for that central post in there can grab a hair and twist around it and pull it. Like I've had that with the Conair. I've had that with like every other brand of electric one that I've had, because the sits on a pin and then that little shaft sits on it and it's got the blades on.
Right.
In this guy, the sleeve is the blade. So like the central part in the bottom actually stays stationary, and you're turning the jacket.
Interesting.
You know what I mean? So like the inside just rotates through the middle of it. So there's nothing to pinch. It works really well.
It's like a pencil sharpener.
Dude,
but opposite.
That's what it is. Look at it. Like, we slap a little laser etched Dr. Nick's logo on there. I would gladly sell those things on our website.
Right. No more idea list for Nick. None. Knock it off, guys. Calm it down.
And I'm not allowed.
No, he's not. And welcome, Mom, aka Julie. Hello.
Fresh out of physical therapy today, probably after physical therapist beating up on my poor sweet mom.
Dude, physical therapy is wild. I could not be a physical therapist. And
calculated torture.
I've gone for so many things. The worst one, I've broken like 13 major bones, couple surgeries. I had to re-break an arm and have like the whole thing. The worst one ever and I did collarbone. That was horrendous. I had broken ribs and punctured lung. I mean, I went through it all. The worst one ever is I severed my flexor tendon in my middle finger. So the tendon that allows you to do this.
Yeah.
I was bartending a wedding.
How did you do that?
Yeah, I was bartending a wedding, and so I was taking glasses out of the dishwasher, which was really hot and steamy, into very frigid, cold, like air-conditioned room. And I just took one out, and it just shattered in my hand. And so it split across my fingers, and didn't think it was that bad. Didn't hurt, nothing like that, just clean cut. And then there was like, I was like, oh man, but my hand's like real sore. And then there's like this ball right around my knuckle. And so in a tuxedo, I went to the hospital. They surgeried it all up together. But the physical therapy on repairing that and I did everything. I did the paraffin wax. I did the walnut husk, put your hand in it, blast it all over, and you like grab the stuff. I did the red light. I did the ultrasound, but it was all the like squeezing exercises and then the stretching. And then they have to massage out the scar tissue. Oh my God.
Oh, and they have to did they do the adhesion traction thing on you where they use that, like those little, it's like little pieces of silicone film, and like they put it on there, and like they make like traction against your skin, like it kind of like creates
100%.
100%. That's the worst,
dude. It was horrible. And again, I've had surgery on my ankle. I've had everything, guys. I've had knees. I had all that finger was
Oh.
horrendous.
Did you have to do the beans? Did you have to like move beans or things from one
all
bucket
the
to
manipulation stuff. Yep.
the other? Oh,
But like they
I
would
had to
have
do that
one
too.
where it like measured your strength and stuff,
Uh-huh.
and that thing just killed. And then they put the gel on the outside and use a wand to massage the scar tissue and stuff.
Ultrasonic. Yeah, they do like the ultrasonic, the ultrasound therapy.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Yep, I had
And
the
it's
same
like,
thing on my damn trigger finger.
yeah.
That's brutal. I did not, and I'm sure the woman that led that place, she was probably really, really nice. But every time I left her, I'm like, I don't like that lady.
And that's what I'm saying. I don't know how you can go to a job, and I know it's in the end they're helping people. I get it, guys. But you go to a job where you're going to go inflict pain on them every single day.
Some people, I mean, hey, there's a number, there's kind of a predetermined number of professions available to certain people out there in the world, and if they have a predisposition to that, maybe we should be really glad that that's the path they took instead of other outlets that they could have taken on, either personally or professionally, to scratch that itch.
Yeah, because I couldn't. I like to be liked, in those kind of situations. I'm not the heel in that situation. So,
dude, speaking of which, though, like I got a new chiropractor because my old one retired, and I had an appointment with him this morning. I'm like 3 hours outside of I guess I went early this morning. It was like 7:50 appointment over there, but it was oh my God. Like I didn't realize how bad I got being away from a chiropractor for so long because of all the stuff I have from like motorcycle accidents and everything else I have going on. Bad genetics and then poor decision-making skills together, boys and girls, makes lots of back and neck problems.
Yep.
And like he popped back in, it sounded like bubble wrap. Like it must have been like 6 rib heads were out of adjustment this morning. Like he popped them all back in. We figured out that, I remember a while ago on stream, we talked about how I thought I tweaked or like tore my labrum again in my shoulder, or maybe like rotator cuff issue. Turns out it's just tendonitis of my bicep. So
little inflammation.
Yeah, tendonitis is getting it. So it's like a little, BPC 157 never hurt anybody kind of situation, right? It's like it's a tendon thing. It's not anything crazy. So it's like, hey, work through it. But man, what a difference like being back at the chiropractor makes.
And so,
awesome.
Shakira's hit song, Hips Don't Lie. Well, that's not true. They do. I'm super athletic, very coordinated, right? I got the resume to back it, but my hips are not, and they lie. Like it does not make sense with the rest of me. So when I go to the chiropractor, my hips are always like in different ways.
Your SI joint in your back, your hips is all messed up and twacked out forward.
Like, what up, doc? How you doing, man? And so I go in, and this is the only time I really go is when the hips are really acting up. They put me on that like stand-up board, and it has like the spot where your hips are at, where it pops out closer to you, and then they're like, "Yay!" and they like throw your hip into it, and it pops down. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Oh,
man, I've done that laying down, but not.
Yeah. So the same concept, laying down, but he has one that stands up, and so he can push against me like that, and it's like the worst pain. Amazing. But then you stand up, and I'm like, what is this?
Dude, yeah, he got some good ones. Like we've been like it's been oddly enough, because of the stuff that's just up with my neck. Chiropractors in the past have always been scared to crack my neck. Like they've always avoided it. And that's like the best part of going to the chiropractor, I heard, but I've never had one do it.
I've never done it. I've never
had one do it.
Me either.
And so, dude, listen, like
you did it today?
Yeah, I did it today. I did it today again because I asked for it. I was like, do it again. And it was, I've been in, he does like, my first appointment was last Wednesday. Then he sees you again, like on Saturday. Then again on Monday, he sees you like 3 quick hit appointments pretty quick in a row to keep everything in line. And, he did, I couldn't look left to turn left in traffic. I couldn't do this last week at all before I went to see him. Like I think when I talked on stream last week, I was still like doing this to like turn to the left. I think. And, I went in there and he's like, oh yeah. He's like, you got like, you got your C1 and 2, and then he's counting them out and showing me. He's like, you can't turn to the left right now at all, can you? And I was like, oh, like this? He's like,
yes, I can.
No. He's like, hold on. He's like, I'm just going to move you to the left and move you to the right, and then I'm just going to pull up and like that. And like, it's like this up and out motion that he does. And all of a sudden, like literally instantly, I was like, oh, I can look left now. Oh yeah, that works.
Wow.
It
So
was
that-
like, it wasn't like an ease into it thing.
So I got to poll you guys. Chiropractor neck crack, yes, please, or stay far away from my neck. The neck, and again, I've gone to the chiropractor many times. That freaks me the heck out, and I've never let them touch my neck.
So honestly, because none of them ever wanted to talk, I was always freaked out about it, right? Then I went to a chiropractor, told him about my motorcycle accident. He's like, before I do anything, I want to see some imaging. And he sees the imaging and then refuses to crack my neck. So I'm like, now I'm extra scared by it. And this guy's feeling around. He's like, the other guy might have been a little wary. He's like, but I'm confident that I feel what's going on in there. And he's like, I know exactly how to work around it. And he's like, I can definitely make your neck bend again if you'd like. And so like, that's kind of how the conversation went with this guy. And I was like, you know what, go for it. So
Wow.
It was one of those weird things where like, I didn't go in that day thinking that he was actually gonna, because most people wouldn't. And because they wouldn't, it always made me more nervous. But on top of him not being nervous, I think maybe that made me not nervous. And it worked, but holy crap, was it like instant relief.
Now, I get the relief part because I've experienced that with my hips, but what was the sensation shocking? What was that like?
No. So I've cracked my neck once in a while. Like, I'm not one of those people that can go like this and crack my neck.
I can't. It freaks me out.
It freaks me out too. I can't do it. And so, the few times that I have managed to crack my neck, it's always hurt a little bit. Right. So that's another reason why I was nervous at the chiropractor. This had zero sensation of pain at all. It felt like when you crack your lower back and the chiropractor like cracks your hip area, you know, it feels like that. Like there's no sharpness to it. There's no neck feeling, like there's no sharp neck feeling to it.
Because I don't crack my knuckles. The only thing I crack myself is my back when I like lift up like this, or if I push back on a chair. I do enjoy that, but nothing else do I enjoy cracking.
I can crack my hips. Like I can lay on my side and like put one leg over the other.
Yeah, that hurts though.
Like I can do that. That doesn't get me.
I know you guys have been through this like I have. Do you ever get the moment where you feel the tension in your sternum and it's like the pain from down under, and then when it pops, it's like it's like I got shot, and then
when
like,
mine pops, it's like it's such a good feeling. I don't get a bad feeling from that at all. If I could,
mine's so painful.
If I feel that tightness, I figured out how to crack that myself actually with a dumbbell. If I lay on the ground and I put a dumbbell on my chest and exhale real deep, it'll pop like my clavicle or my sternum, depending on which one needs. But I've gotten pretty good at that.
A deep pain. It always happens when I'm like wrestling with the kids, and it like I'll have like a reverb for like an hour. I'm like, oh my God, what happened? And God dang it, it hasn't happened in probably a year or two. So you know how things work when we speak on them. Now it's coming.
Now it's gonna happen.
Golly. Okay, all right. All noted there. All noted, you guys. Got it. All right. And then Leo says, best chiropractor advice was nothing in back pockets other than handkerchiefs. My generation, we do not put anything in our back pockets. Like that does not exist. I think it was, we got like drilled in us so much about pickpocketing, and it just made way more sense to put your wallet in your front pocket, your keys in your front pocket and stuff. And then just logical sense, like most of our dads grew up with the wallets that were like this gosh dang thick, and they sat on them.
Put that in your back pocket. Like how did
all of our dads did?
Like I am a back pocket wallet person. But
are you? Wow.
Yeah, but it's really thin. Like it's a super thin wallet.
See, I'm front pocket. I'm paranoid. I don't put anything in my back pocket ever.
This is a front pocket wallet. That's why it's like when
it's thin. Okay.
Yeah, it's like and it's like it's just got like two slots.
Yeah.
It's got like you know, and it's RFID block, and it's really thin. And it closes with magnets too, which I like. But yeah, I'm a back pocket wallet person.
I would not have guessed that. Interesting. Yeah, nothing.
Yeah, so like I got, you know, but I am a certain pocket for certain things person. I'm not a total psychopath.
Same. What pocket is phone?
Front right.
Oh, I'm front left. Interesting.
Yeah, I'm front right for phone, front left for keys.
Yeah, front left. I'm opposite. Right for keys, right for keys and wallet, left for phone. I don't know why, but I'm more comfortable with my phone with my left hand.
Are you really?
Yeah, so my
I was
phone
gonna
rests.
ask that.
Yeah, my phone rests in my left hand, and then if I need like a serious type, I bring the right in.
Interesting. See,
But
that's pretty convenient. That way you got your right hand all freed up for activities.
Yes,
You know,
100%. Like
look at
building bunk beds and stuff. So
yeah,
it's
someone's throwing something at you, boom,
Yep.
catch it, no problem, with your phone in your hand. Like me, I'm one of those idiots. Drop the phone, catch the thing. Like it's like, you know, I'm like
no,
yeah,
to the point, yes, this is going to hurt later in life, but I get like a permanent indent on the base of my pinky because of how I hold my phone.
For resting your phone on it.
Yeah, I'm serious. And I just right there, and it's all left hand. Bah, 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 bah. So I'm really
like a USB-C like piercing, like, or get like, where's the USB-C ring, right? Where you can just clip your phone onto a pinky ring, right? You got your pinky ring sitting there with your rest on.
Yeah.
Where's that at?
What about like the thermal charging? So I have like a charging port right in there, and it like taps into my own body warmth.
Well, kinetic charging needs to happen. Like it's either going to be kinetic charging or wireless charging. I swear by the time that your kids and my kid are our age, they won't believe us when we say that we used to have to plug in our phone every day. Like that concept's not going to exist. Like, you guys had to use cables for electricity too. What's next?
Right.
You know, they're not going to believe that. Like, wait a minute. You guys used to put like explosive liquid into a tank and then sit on it and then count on sparks firing to ignite. What did you guys lived in the Stone Ages? Like, they're not going to believe any of this stuff.
That's for real. I still hold on for some reason to some kind of cables. So when I do like audio that matters like this, I prefer wired. Like, I'm wired in right now. And I just prefer that. When I work for whatever reason in an airport, I always have wired headphones. I don't, and I have the Beats by Dre that I work out with and stuff like that, but I like wired in random certain situations that have just stuck. It's just my thing.
If I'm doing video editing or if I'm doing audio editing, like, I don't want wireless headphones at all. Like, I have my Shure stage monitor. Yeah. The over ear. Yeah. The Shure. So those are the way to go.
Yep.
I love them. And I have you know what I do have though? I'm such a weirdo. I have the wireless adapter for my Shures.
Oh, wow.
Shure makes it.
Interesting.
So, and what it is, you know how those have plugs on them. This is, by the way, anyone who doesn't have these buds, by the way, it's like you should look into them because
they're made for you.
You should hold them up again. Yeah. The cable plugs into that bud and is detachable.
Yep.
So like that can unplug off of that earbud right there. And so the cable gets messed up, whatever, it doesn't matter. You just pop it off, pop a new cable on, and the wireless kit for it is kind of neat. It has cables. It's a little flat box like this that can clip onto your shirt or to clip onto your waist, and it's got a battery obviously in it. You know, it's rechargeable, and it's just got two cables coming off of it that go to the buds.
Okay,
so
interesting.
It's wireless, but it still has wires that go to your ear, which is
you're not anchored. is what allows you to walk. Interesting.
It seems super weird, but yeah. Anyway, those are awesome.
Yeah, like
you're right though. Certain things do make you feel like using the wired.
Yeah. And it's these are called in-ear monitors. If anybody's looking, because I would have looked up like earbuds, but they're called in-ear monitors.
Yeah. If you ever look at anyone performing on stage at any professional level, you know, stage music event, like 100% of people on stage are using those or Rhodes, but usually the Shures.
Yep. Leo says, what area of history would teach kids about the lives of their parents and grandparents, since some don't have a chance? What area of history would teach kids?
That'd be like modern history almost. To look at like, you're talking about like, instead of learning about like old history, learning about like the generation before you, basically.
So in school they would call that like U.S. history 2. Generally speaking, in curriculum, they break it down from like revolution to Civil War, and then kind of Civil War, really kind of Reconstruction. Civil War is where the mid is. Post Reconstruction till now, they go all the way up to like 9/11, and then I would imagine soon will be the new chapters on like the COVID era, and they do a lot of that.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, and I learned about that. So I learned about like the 60s and 70s when I was in school and taught about that. And it's super interesting. And I think and we've talked about this many times on this show specifically. I think so much of the generational differences is based on the scene and setting of what the world was going on at the time, right? We know the baby boom generation was huge because they wanted normal, they wanted family. We know there's so many things. And so I think that is as important as anything, even if it just helps us understand our parents' decisions and our grandparents' decisions and what shaped maybe what we would see as like regretful. You at least need to get all the pieces of the pie to be like, they did the best with what they had kind of situation.
Yeah, I mean, perspective is key, right?
Yeah.
That is an interesting topic though. Imagine what it's going to look like teaching about like you said, the COVID era.
I don't think we can write those chapters yet because I don't think we actually know the ramifications and all that.
We don't. And we're like, and we're still learning so many more, both like social, biological, like so many things.
And it will keep going. My thesis paper for my second master's degree was how 9/11 changed the world forever. And it was the concept of, and I wrote that, I don't know, 93 pages, something crazy. And it was the concept of before that day, it was very much fine to say, hey, I'll come back when the street lights are on, to now most parenting is not like that. And why there's good and bad to all sides. It's kind of what you make it, but it singularly was 9/11 that changed the trust of the country and the world, and especially parenting. And it's so interesting to think about those differences. The amount of differences we're going to see from that post-COVID era, and we're not obviously getting anything political, but even the concept of work and what needs to be in person and what can be at home and the work-home life balance. And just so much is going to come from it.
It's funny, but what you're saying, it's like, it's interesting what you say about like what you wrote your paper on though. Cause it's like, it's almost like if you look at it, it's the Patriot Act changed parenting.
Yeah. It did. It did.
As soon as it altered the way that the government can monitor and interact with, us as citizens, right? It almost the exact same thing happened, like you said, in like the world of parenting, right? Because like rules all of a sudden were very different kind of across the board.
Yeah. I love those like keystone moments. One in the e-commerce world, you guys, it was in, I forget what year the big iOS update was in, but I want to say like, you might remember, Nick, like 2016, 2017. There was
iOS 6.
Yeah. What year was that?
2015-ish, I think.
Okay. Yeah. So iOS 6 update was
one year of my life dealing with that.
Yeah. So it changed how you guys see things online and purchase things online, and kind of the gist of it was 2012 all the way back then.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And yeah, I guess that checks out. I was out of college. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Essentially, you guys, before that iOS update, you could pinpoint target any specific type of buyer you wanted with ads, down to the freakish details that you could never even imagine. Like a 45-year-old bearded man, his girlfriend who's searching on Valentine's where they live in this area, have this much income. And then essentially the government was like, hey, you might be a little bit too invasive on privacy here. You need to kind of zoom out a little bit. And then the whole marketing world just changed. And that's why we have a bunch of like horrible ads and marketing campaigns and just garbage out there because of that.
Yeah. I've always said thinking that less of your information is out there based on how people advertise to you or not is delusional.
Yeah.
And I would much rather see stuff that I actually give a crap about than to see things about, geriatric diabetic socks, right?
Yep.
Like I would much rather see something that's relevant, because it doesn't make your information any less accessible,
right?
Not having
Still
it in
there.
the hands of advertisers.
Still there. Now, if this seems like a random tangent, that is because it is. That's what we do. Now,
but I have one more. Executive executive insert right into the wheel of tangents. I'm throwing a new one on here, and it's just we're gonna pretend that we spun it.
All right, what do you got?
It has to be the first tangent today.
Okay.
We had one of these before. It's not still on here, right? Beard interactions in public or people doing things in public related to your beard.
No, but I like it.
So what was it? What can we call it? When someone makes inappropriate comments or suggestions about your facial hair in public beard interactions. There we go.
All right, ride with me here just till we gotta make this look official, guys.
That's fine.
Right, what's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
We can wait for it. Oh, we can wait for it.
Ooh, all right, let's wait for it. Let's
leave it on there. Let's leave it on because you know what? Everyone can look forward to it now because we've had some good ones. I got it beat.
And this one's an easy one here. Best hikes you've been on. I'm top 3 in the chat. I'm going to share mine. The Pictured Rocks National Shoreline in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Acadia National Park in Maine.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's tough between Yellowstone and the Smokies, but I'm going to take the Smokies. Those would be my top 3. Beehive and Acadia, the Sunrise Peak. Unbelievable hike. Yep.
And because that's the first big hike I ever went on with my lovely wife.
Same.
I think that's definitely in my top 3. I'd say number 1 for me has got to be the Alakai Swamp Trail on Kauai.
Family show, Joe. Family show.
Whoa. It is Taco Tuesday.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Hey, Hawaii hiking is
Thunderhole Taco Tuesday.
I transitioned real quick there.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so Alakai Swamp Trail, definitely because it's the world's highest elevation swamp, and it brings you to the single rainiest point on the planet for rainfall annually. Really cool place. Then probably the Precipice Mountains out in Arizona. And then probably Beehive Precipice is the one north of, thinking of Beehive. Precipice is the one north of Beehive, which is great. Like that, the two of those combined are probably my favorite.
Okay.
Precipice is usually closed though, because too many people die on it. And there's condors that nest up there. So you got
the lake that you go around.
That's
really beautiful.
So the lake is back behind the Precipice, and then Beehive's on the top of that.
Exactly. Yep.
So I'd say if I'm not going to do that, then probably Flatiron out in I guess that's Scottsdale, Arizona. So I'd say
like the Red Rocks.
Yeah, it's like the Flatiron. It's part of the Saddleback Mountains.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Camelback.
Yeah, I've seen it. I just haven't done it personally, but I've driven by like where you start and everything.
Yeah, it's like that one's really cool just because of like you can go out to the edge of it and dangle your feet off the edge of that huge overhang off mountain up there
where all the pictures are.
Oh yeah, it's so funny too. I'll call myself out if we're talking about good hiking. Is you see people do that. Like you can pull up a photo or look at like Flatiron and you look at people hanging their feet off the edge. I have a photo of me doing that, and it looks like I'm sitting there all super confidently. But what's weird is when you walk on that rock out to the edge, a weird thing happens to you where you feel like maybe I shouldn't be standing and walking. Maybe I should be kind of crouched and crawling.
Yeah.
And then like you get closer and closer to the edge and you're like, maybe I shouldn't be crawling. I should probably be like scooting on my butt. And so like, it's like this funny progression from like fully upright, confident walking to very timid crawling to like butt scooting, like out to the edge of this rock, because like it's intimidating getting out.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
A little terrifying.
We thought about hiking that when I went to Phoenix and Scottsdale, and the guy I was with was like, yeah, I did it once. He was like, it seems like it's nothing. He goes, then I get up there. He's like, I almost die halfway. And he was like, I forget the exact details, but he was like, there was a guy with one leg who passed me. And I'm like, oh my God, now I have to finish. I was like, yep.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, okay, because dude, those people out there, like people in Arizona that are hikers, are no joke. Like those people are in better shape than any of us.
Yes, because it's brutal. It's brutal out there.
I see. There was people hiking that trail that weren't sweating.
Right. How? What's wrong with you? Did you have your sweat glands removed?
Like, is there just I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
I was sweating getting my shoes on in the parking lot. Like, I'm like on my second thing of water by the time I get onto the rocky part of the trail off the pavement.
Oh, by the way, I got to bring you guys in. I came up with the most brilliant idea for an expo of all time, and Nick and I are going to film and host it. And it's just going to be the most entertaining thing ever. I don't think I've shared it with you guys. Don't steal my idea, please. I want Nick and I to host an expo in Las Vegas where we invite every town's cheesy lawyer billboard person. Every town has like the crazy like defense attorney slogan and their pictures on every bus.
Whatever your area code is, it's like 917-777-7777.
Always.
Yeah.
But we get all of them from every town. There's a guy in Scottsdale that's super known. I forget his name, but he's everywhere. We have Jamama in Detroit, this blonde chick who I don't know fully, but this blonde human, and like they have all these.
40, you got like 1-800-ASK Gary.
Yeah. And so I want to do a convention where we invite every single one of them, and then we film the expo. We film the convention, and there's like contests. We can do like a mock trial debate and like all these things. And just the amount of those personalities coming together, there's going to be something electric.
I thought you were going to say like we Chris Hansen all of them, kind of like they show up and we're like, why don't you have a seat? Come on.
No. I want them just
with your life here, putting yourself on billboards like that.
I want lots of alcohol. I want lots of entertainment. It's just going to be pure crazy, like alphas just smashing heads.
I wonder how many of them are going to like fake injury to try to like sue the property.
Right. they get together.
Got a bunch of like injury attorneys, and they're all like tripping each other. Like, hey, tabletop me real quick in front of that salad bar. I'll pull a quick $2 million out of this place.
So Leo, the process would be very simple. Is we would cultivate the billboards from all these towns. Nick and I it would probably be at like 11 o'clock at night. So we might be just a little bit like silly at that point. And we just do like a slideshow, and how hard we laugh will determine if they're invited or not.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
So class action.
It's gonna be a real need, dude. It's class action. Wait, now, can you imagine like trying to get that booked at like a place in Vegas too? They're like, we're gonna need to up our umbrella policy here. They're like, you got a bunch of injury attorneys showing up.
Right. They're gonna sign a serious contract, but I just think that would be so. Everyone's got one. Everybody's got the local one. That's just ridiculous.
Law.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
I like it. it.
Okay. That's going to be a new one. Okay. So fan submission, right? Let's make sure, let's get a community thread going somewhere where we can compile good lists of would-be contestants here.
Stay tuned, guys. Stay tuned.
This is
Nick
good.
and I are going to be rich off of this idea.
Can Sam Talent come and help?
Yeah, he can be an MC.
He would be great. I think he'd just be a good addition.
He's in the middle of of Ozempic right now and talks about it often.
Oh yeah, he does.
Yeah, and so his wife is a nurse practitioner, and so she's able to do all of this for him. And he talks about how his everything that leaves his body. So I'll just leave that everything, like burps, for example, and everything else that leaves his body, urine, for example, it smells like another level of death that you can't describe. Yep. And I haven't seen him in person since this Ozempic journey has begun, but I'm like, that doesn't sound good.
Nope. And what's crazy about it, I've kind of learned from listening to people in my own, and dealings with GLP-1 like substances, is the disdain and, well, I will say the adversarial relationship that you achieve with food is an interesting place as a human, because it doesn't there eventually becomes a point where you're not necessarily like, I'm not hungry or I'm full. It's, I don't want to feel like crap, so I'm not going to eat that. Right. And it's like eventually like you get this knee-jerk reaction to like, I just don't like food.
Right.
And he talks about that. He's like, I just kind of don't like food anymore.
It's like painting. You remember they would have the nail polish that tasted bad to
Yeah,
stop
for people
biting
to
your
bite their
nails.
nails. Yeah, that's
Same
like
kind of
this for
concept.
everything. Yeah.
Yep. Interesting.
That's
All right.
hilarious. He cracks me up. Yeah, Jill's in the middle of reading his book and she's like reading me lines out of it as she does, and it's cracking me up.
He's wicked smart. Like his history knowledge, he's super, super wicked smart.
We have firsthand experience here in the building too with Shelly. Like if we ever have any questions, we got Shelly right here to ask.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
Here we have our senior in-house Ozempic correspondent, Shelly Coyne, available for all questions GLP-1 related.
Nice. And then look at this. My coworker's on Ozempic and I'm on a bulk. The joke's I'm stealing his weight. Symbiotic.
I love it.
Symbiotic.
Yeah.
All right.
Great.
And this one was actually submitted by me. So I submitted this one a couple of weeks ago because let me break down a situation. Sam and I go to the gym 4 to 5 days a week. We would like 5, but Vi has her therapy on Tuesdays, so it's cut out our gym time, and that's okay. So we go on average about 4 times a week. We go early in the morning, and there's a lady there. We love her. She's so sweet. Like we would adopt her as a grandmother if we could. And then out of nowhere the other day, she drops a political line to us because she feels comfortable with us, even though we've never interacted outside of the gym. And I kind of do my thing where I don't respond, or I'm like, yeah. And then she goes further and then gets serious and then is like, why aren't you confirming what I'm saying? Because I'm not denying it, but I'm not agreeing or confirming. I'm just kind of doing the, crazy world, isn't it? Kind of thing. And I don't like that, number one. You guys know me. That's not my thing. But how do you, and I know you guys get them. I know it happens. What is your approach to unsolicited political comments? Are you the person that just shares your feelings and you have a debate and a confrontation? Are you laughing it off? Do you avoid at all costs? Do you tell them you're not political, that you don't care? What is the approach on adults and unsolicited political comments? And I'm not talking about like your closest friends and family, and maybe that even counts.
I have 3 very different ways of handling that, I think, depending on the situation. So in my personal life, right, like at the gym or at the grocery store, someone, I have a contractor over named Donnie who works on electrical stuff here in the building, not to be too specific. Those types of things. I usually, what I do is if it's a different view than my own, I typically make it abundantly clear that there are other things that I would rather talk about. And I also try to make it just really clear. I don't care enough to talk about it.
Okay.
Right. Like, as opposed to giving someone the opinion that I think differently than they do, or getting into a debate about them. If it's a situation that I would like to be glossing over shortly and not spending a lot of time on, I'll typically just make it that I have zero interest in talking about it. Like, and I have a number of ways I think that I can be very obvious that I'm trying that I don't give a shit. Right. So I think with people that I know really well, like with you, or like with like Wilson downstairs, or like Thatcher, the guy that rents our wood shop, I will debate I will debate as long as someone will debate with me.
Yeah.
Now that's very different than the professional side of it, right? You got to imagine, right, pulling on investors for businesses. I meet with people and we're sitting there at dinners, and there's people who share very common, sometimes views that are vastly different than mine in those types of situations.
Right.
And you're in some situations there, you're kind of required to participate at some level in the discussion. And what I do there is, typically I'm not the most senior person in the room in those situations.
Okay.
So I like to find things that are agreeable to me about what they're talking about, and not debate. So I won't debate. I'll make it very clear that maybe I don't share all the same views in the way that I say, You know what I do take away from that is one good part of that I see is blah. And I won't placate them. I won't say that I believe things that I don't. That's not me, as you guys know. But if someone says something about maybe a political party that I don't align with, right? And it's in one of those situations where it probably wouldn't be in my best professional interest to debate an opposite opinion in that social situation. I'll find things that did come out, maybe something, maybe a good positive outcome that happened with something that I don't agree with, right? I'll say, oh man, one thing that did come out of that or something like that, right? And I think that's just a way to keep it cordial, and it's just really kind of about just maintaining decorum at that point, I suppose. So yeah, it's different for me. Either way, I don't like it. I don't like debating anything that's to do with things that people have beliefs behind, really, both politics, religion, those sorts of things. If they're views that are different than mine, I'm happy they have them. I want you to have them. I'd just rather not talk about them with you.
Yeah. Nope. I agree. My approach, and again, I've asked this because I didn't love my approach, but I just kind of like giggle it off. And I'm just like, oh yeah, because I think this is actually really profound by Leo. He said, the part that I really like in this is he says, most of those conversations in my experience aren't looking for discussions, but agreements. I agree.
You're
think
right.
most times when it's unsolicited with someone that you're not, like if Nick were to say something, he's looking to share it with me, discuss it with me, to hear my feedback. Like we have that safe place. But this person that I'm not as close with,
right?
I think they're just trying. It's a feeler to
She's
be like,
socially profiling you. Is what?
Are you on my team? Yeah. You're on my team, right? And you're just looking. They're looking to confirm. They read you enough to feel comfortable. And one thing with me is, and this is not something that is like planned and intentional, but I think a lot of people think I believe what they believe just because I don't touch on stuff. I don't give them a reason. I just go with a logical middle path, and I just go with that approach. And so a lot of people think, oh, he's on my team, but I've never given a reason on any way what to feel. And so, yeah, so I don't engage. I don't share my thoughts on it. I don't tell them they're wrong. I've learned enough with the political is usually attached to emotional, and you're not going to win on emotional discussions. It just, and win is the wrong word there. You're not going to even have anything productive on an emotional discussion.
No, you're not. And I mean, that's coming from someone whose favorite thing in the entire world to do is debate.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And I love ranting. So that, yeah. Or they think you agree because they don't think there's another. Yeah. And that's a wild one. And there are a lot of people like that. They're like, how could you possibly think anything else? And so, and that's cool. Nate says, I've learned from you in that regard too, Dan. So kudos. Yeah. And I have my beliefs. And if people want to assume my beliefs, that's up to them. That's fine. It's not my job to tell them. And so, yeah. All right.
Pretend we spin it. We got a 50-50 shot.
Yep. All right. Let's see. It'll be, come on. Give the one. Oh, of course. All right. Well, the chat calls it.
The chat calls it, and they want to go with the other topic.
Yeah.
So I think that's what we're doing.
So the chat's going with public beard interactions.
Oh man, this lady. All right. So Jill and I we go down to visit her nana and her pa's memorial site down on the Cape.
Jill's,
yes.
Okay.
And, so both of her grandparents are down in the memorial in the Massachusetts State Cemetery down there. It's a gorgeous place, right on the Cape, really cool. And so we were down there, we were going around just visiting sites and kind of just, taking some time to ourselves, and we grabbing lunch before we came back up here.
Okay.
And so we stop into this place, and it's a place like right on the water. It's called Fisherman's View, and it's gorgeous. Like, their bar is facing the water. And so we walk in, and we didn't want to go out on like the patio, and we didn't really see anywhere else we wanted to sit, but there was a couple spots open at the bar. So we're like, yeah, we're not drinking, but whatever. We'll go and hang out at the bar, go order food. So we went to go sit down and just order lunch. And it was awesome because like the bar is like the place to sit there as far as a view is concerned, out into the Cape Cod Canal, and it opens out right out to the Atlantic. It's gorgeous. And so we're, I guess it opens up into Cape Cod Bay, but whatever. And so we sit down, and Where, yeah, and that's the view you have right there. We were right behind, standing where this person took
We
this
gotta
photo.
set the scene. Yep.
Yeah. And so we sat between two of quite possibly the most socially unaware, just like rudest people in the entire world. One of them was just so like out there and could not understand that we really didn't want to talk to him about what he was wanting to talk to us about. Like he just wouldn't take the hint, to the point where one of the things I was like, and then like just looked forward, like all the clues in the world didn't make it into this guy's head, just totally oblivious. And then this woman next to me, so one of the other one of the servers walks around behind the bar and she's like, I love your beard. And I was like, I like your glasses. She had these crazy orange glasses on, so it's usually what I look to do is compliment somebody back. She actually happened to have awesome glasses that looked really good on her. So I was like, hey, I love your glasses. And the lady next to me, she goes, oh, I was looking in my purse. If I had a pair of scissors, I'd just reach over and give it one of those. And I was like,
what?
I'm
How
like,
old?
you'd have a lot of angry people with you if you cut this thing off. And I'm like, that'd be kind of a crazy thing to do to somebody you don't know. And she's like, and then she literally, and so I was already kind of just annoyed by the other guy next to me. And now I got this one. So then she says, she's like, well, I'm 70 years old. She's like, I don't want something like that sitting next to me.
What?
And I'm like, well, you can move.
Yeah.
And and literally just fired right back. I'm like, well, you can move. And she's like, oh, I don't know. And I'm like, and there's people sitting over on the other side of her. And these two guys are kind of like looking down, like, what is this lady saying?
Like, is this real?
And then like, I look over at the two guys sitting next to her. I'm like, isn't it crazy what some people feel is appropriate to like talk about other people, like something attached to somebody else's body? I'm like, can you imagine how she'd feel if I talked to her about something she was wearing or her hair? And she's like, well, and I was like, no, hey, just saying. It's just crazy to think like the things you're comfortable saying to another person that you wouldn't be okay with someone saying to you. Like, it's just a strange standard that you seem to be following.
A bazillion percent. I've always said that about beards. It's like, because
it was just finally, I just said it to her though. Instead of just thinking it, I was like, you have no filter. And you're like, and you know what it is? This is what got me about it. I could tell that she was someone's grandma that gets away with saying the rudest stuff to everyone around her, and they're like, oh, it's just Nana. Oh, it's just Nana. Well, you know what?
Okay.
This day last week, Nana heard about it. Like, she got told that the way she was acting was wildly inappropriate, that she should really reevaluate the way that she interacts with people in public, and should really maybe start paying attention to the words that come out of her mouth a little bit. And
That's
about
crazy.
5 minutes later, we looked over and she was no longer there, and just a 20 sitting there with no check. So she definitely checked herself out of the bar because she realized she was very, very out of line.
Good.
But I was blown away. Like, I've had some good ones, but man, like this one topped it. Like, if I had scissors, I'd cut it off. I don't want something that gross sitting next to me. And I don't know why people would ever do that. I'm like, oh boy, this lady, Karen's going to hear about it today.
Yeah, I've had some negative ones like that. The most common one I get from more age experience. No, they're not great people, so I'll just say elderly women. Is they will say, I've had this multiple times. You'd be so handsome without that, or I bet you're so handsome underneath that thing. And it's like, I don't know you. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, that's crazy.
Like, what is your mission with these statements?
Man, so Leo, I got a question for Leo here, and this is in all sincerity. He says he's gotten the question, is that a Jew beard? And his response was, what's a Jew beard? And then they apologize. Even saying that sentence makes me feel uncomfortable.
I was when like it was typed and then you said it, I was like,
I know. So
don't know if I'm allowed to comment on this part of the stream.
And it's like tough, especially because I was a history teacher and we have the Jewish religion, we have the Jewish culture, we have the Jew, like that's a very complicated
land, people and thoughts.
Correct.
It is one of the only words that is all three things.
Yep. It's very, very complicated. But I never, in any of the context, and I'm going to say it, but I never feel comfortable saying the word Jew. And is that something that is not politically correct? Is that something that is wrong to feel bad saying it? Like like, am I being overly sensitive to that? Like where is our state of that term right now? Because I
I
don't
grew up in a really Jewish community. Like
if I
when I
can say
moved,
Jewish, I do in all
right,
cases. But
of
when
course.
but it's like it seems like it's commonly used just to say that. Obviously, this is way too far, and to say that's crazy.
That is crazy to say because that's bringing in all sorts of under things. Hearing it was more uncomfortable. So like the thing that gets me is so I moved from Kauai to Newton, Massachusetts, and because it's predominantly a Jewish community, you can guess
Okay.
what the nickname for Newton was.
Oh yeah.
So there was always that stigma around using it as a slang word, right? And so what I learned about living around Jewish families, just have tons of Jewish friends, is that it's definitely more of a slang and an abbreviation than it is anything related to a slur. And that's absolutely what I think the state of the state right now with that word is that it is an abbreviation. It's not a slur of any kind. It can be used, of course, in that connotation, just like anything.
Right.
But I think the deal, in my mind, my rule for it, I guess, is that like, in my mind, I feel like that's an abbreviation that people who are Jewish can use for themselves or reference themselves, and I just don't feel comfortable using the abbreviation for it. So I always just use the full word.
Yeah, that just struck me when Leo put that. I was like, this is something I struggle with, and just it made me uncomfortable even. And he said, I was more uncomfortable hearing it. Like I bet, dude.
Yeah.
I bet.
Yeah, exactly. It's just one of those things where if that was part of my culture, I guess I wouldn't. I'd probably feel different about it.
Interesting. Well, sincerely, guys, I really mean this. I wish we didn't have to go. We will, and who knows if we'll add some more, but I love the, where is this going? I love the concept of the one we didn't get to, and it was put in today. Just the chat calls it. On the spot, you guys have something that pops up on mind, and we'll go over it. We'll stay tuned for that. And then also, hopefully, you never know in this situation, but we may have a Cracker Nasty show in a couple of weeks. But
that's coming up. Isn't it? It's such a free radical. You never know.
And so you don't know.
It's like chasing a butterfly with a hammer.
Yeah. Yep. Hey, thank you, Jill, and shout out to all the moms with Mother's Day coming up on Sunday. It's a very, 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 very amazing day. I said it last night. I'll say it again, but just especially being with Sam through this like motherhood journey that she's gone through, it's just mind blowing and inspiring. And so, yeah, unbelievable. Shout out to all the moms out there.
Yeah, to all the moms and to all White Nick hammering butterflies. Go watch Tropic Thunder. Anyway, to all the moms and to all the stepmoms, like I never, until obviously, living with and marrying and sharing, the role of parents with someone who is a step parent. I never realized the unique challenges of step parenthood. And it's just, man, what a crazy, just awesome day to celebrate both. Because it's like, talk about some challenges and you know what, optional ones. They're elective challenges with step parents. Like they chose that craziness.
Yeah, that's just Mother's Day to me too. For me that's all one thing. I don't even differentiate.
All one time.
Yeah, Sam's dad, who we call dad, grandpa, and everything. He's not her biological dad. He's not even currently her stepdad, but that's who raised her. So that was
his role.
Yep, no doubt.
Celebrate the role.
Awesome. Nick, final words for our friends. We kept them over a little bit, so hopefully they won't get in trouble at work.
Oh, man. Well, if you guys need a doctor's note, you just let us know. I mean, I'm not that kind of doctor, but I can do my best.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that's it, man. Thanks for spending another lunch hour with us on another Tuesday. And thanks for letting me vent my beard, my Karen beard story. Maybe we'll add that one to instead of just public beard interactions, we'll have specifically Karen beard interactions. We'll come back here and let you guys maybe tell some stories or something too. So thanks for staying late. See you next Tuesday.
All right, guys, have a great week.